Cybernation Uncensored.
Welcome back, everyone, to our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. Tonight is the finale, and our coterie has gotten themselves into quite the predicament. Prince Kevin Jackson, as a background, is the Prince of Chicago and has taken over since the 90s. His power has not been put into question, despite his relatively young age compared to the elders of the city. Until now, this coterie found themselves in the middle of a political war. You have met Horatio Ballard, a fellow Ventru and one of the people who was vying for the throne before Prince Jackson eventually took over. And then you met his backer after hearing his offer, a mysterious woman clad in black by the name of Portia. Now, as far as Vivian is concerned, this woman is far too powerful to make an enemy. So, with all that information, our coterie has decided to back their play. You've agreed to infiltrate the Ivory Tower while Kevin Jackson holds a special Elysium for the elders of the city in his private home. What that entails, you're not sure, but you were also given special schematics and a guard who's supposedly willing to allow you entry into the place, if your information is to be believed. You have the rest of this night to prepare before you need to go out and do your part of this unholy alliance. So, with that being said, as we start, for one final time, let's go around the table and let's meet this coterie before we get to meet their fates. Let's start with VB. Introduce yourself and your character.
Hello, I am Vampire Bites. I'm friend of the channel and loving to be here for this. Looking forward to the finale playing Vivian, the up-and-coming Ventru, looking for the right ladder to climb.
Then we go around to Thomas.
Hello, my name's Thomas, or GM runs game. I'm playing Morgan, a gangrel bagger. Also looking forward to backing this new prince, hopefully.
If you survived long enough. Ada.
Hi, I am Ada Kills. I'm playing Nora, who is a Malkavian, who is kind of just here for the drama at this point.
And finally, Riley.
Hello, everybody. I am Riley Manus. I am playing Drake Veloci, our Toreador, who is also pretty much here for the drama at this point because there's nothing else we can really do.
All right. So, now we have to decide the fates of your coterie. You've agreed to back Horatio. You've given your word. You've given a boon. Now, what would you like to do in preparation for the fated evening tomorrow? You are infiltrating one of the most secure places in the city.
I think with the foresight of the night, I imagine we'd have a plan to meet together, presumably at a usual spot at this point, since it has been a bit of time, if I'm not mistaken, in preparation. So we'll probably meet at a predetermined location in our domain, so we can brainstorm together.
All right.
Well, I
You
think
do
we
still
should
have the college domain.
Well, I think we should stake the place out tonight. Okay. See if we can see any important comes and goings, any weaknesses in the security. We think we've got an in, but we might be important to get a backup.
Not getting caught is obviously our first and top priority. Second only to getting the object out and making it known that it was taken, not necessarily by whom. So, with that in mind, I think I would like to try to requisition some. Vivian doesn't know espionage at all, so her inclination is to try to requisition some standard spy gear. Has no idea what that really means other than cat suits and those rope winches just in case, and maybe some bolt cutters. But in general, doesn't actually know what she would need to get beyond what you think you might need from a spy movie.
Would any of you say that you were fans of espionage films in your life? Or books?
As the only British person, I'm probably fairly familiar with James Bond.
So, with that as a reference, why don't you try rolling your intelligence and your academics and see where that leads you?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, this roll is contingent to your reference to James Bond.
Bow now, bow now.
What is it?
It's 2.
2.
Double,
Okay.
double 2.
Oh, sorry, that's on me. All right. So, with a 2, Oh, I think I'm gone. Hold on.
I've got you here.
Sorry, I switched connections there.
Ah.
But with a 2, obviously you're more than aware that some of his gadgets, if they do exist, you're very likely never going to get your hands on them. Or maybe when you get some more money and the promised status you were given by Ballard. But for now, out of the question. However, a sneak suit is probably overkill. It's not like there's going to be any forensics you're going to deal with here. Some weapons would be nice. Maybe a Walter PK handgun for the theme, but at the moment you're imagining glass cutters in case there's a case that's pressure sensitive, maybe some Indiana Jones trickery of a weight in place of whatever it is you're going to steal. Probably a way to crack a safe. And most safes tend to be a little high-tech right now, so you might need a drill.
I also wanted to mention... I wanted to mention that while Nora doesn't exactly know about espionage in the traditional sense, I feel like she may have a special place here somewhere.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Tell you what, while Morgan's debating in his head, I'll have you roll your wits and larceny. Because this isn't your first time breaking into people's places. But yeah, for Morgan, you imagine a special drill bit, the kind that's designed to go through metal. Something to cut glass.
Can I also narratively suggest some all-black tuxedos?
Why not?
I mean, you could suggest it. I don't think any of us are going to go buy one.
It's the perfect weapon for an ivory tower.
Vivian loves the idea. Do we have enough time to get a tailor in?
You always have enough time for a tailor, Vivian.
You have 2 nights. So if you prepare, you could get a custom Rush-made suit. Get something off the rack and have it tailored to you.
What I'm hearing is we're gonna start there, and then we'll go from tuxedo.
The gangrel's living his James Bond fantasies. Let him have it. So, you've got some stuff ready. You've got some of a shopping list ready. You've got 2 knights. And what did
Three.
Nora get?
Three.
3. Okay. The drill stuff, Nora, you're not exactly a thief. You get into places for different reasons. Non-sketchy, non-creepy reasons. But you know that the
Right.
most important thing when entering a place is knowing what's around there. What you have to look out for, what kind of security they're looking at. So you already know that the elders of the city are going to be gone, or at least most of them. They're going to be at Prince Jackson's place. But even when going through some people's stuff in the past when you had to, and they were gone, there's always some people left behind that you had to deal with. So, since you have the schematics of the building, you need an ideal route. You're being let in, but you are not being guided through where you need to go. So you are being let in from the entrance of the basement. Where you need to go is the top floor to Prince Jackson's penthouse where he overlooks the city. Get from point A to point B is usually an elevator, but they come with security cameras that you have to deal with, so you have to go to the security room somewhere in the basement. The alternative is the fire escape, which typically, in most buildings, don't have security cameras. And you'd be walking about 50 floors. Luckily, Kindred don't feel fatigue the way humans do, so that shouldn't be a problem, but that looks like your best way to enter. But also, typically in buildings like these, for some reason you were aware that fire escapes tend to be closed off or guarded. Like, you can't just use them. So there would be guards from your point of entry. So the ideal way to get through there is to deal with the one guard that would be blocking your way from the entry floor. So basement, first floor, then get to the security guard quietly on the first floor, and probably hitman it, put him somewhere in a locker so people won't find him, and then make your way up. Of course, that leaves again, for some reason, why you know it, no one's very sure why you know this, but there would likely be a keypad in some place that important. Some form of code to enter. Of course, that's where the glass cutters can also come in. Or anyone who knows any bit of technology might be able to sort of hack those wires open. See if you got any way of getting in normally. But experience is to your benefit here. Strangely.
Well, we already know that Drake is capable with security systems in terms of camera at the computer side of things.
I can do more than cameras.
I'm sure.
I haven't learned much of the illegal side of things, but surely it can't be that hard.
Famous last words, Drake?
Yeah.
I have many words left ahead of me, voice in my head telling me I'm going to die tonight.
So, according to Vivian, according to Morgan, the first stop is the tailor.
Yeah,
I think we both agreed.
Let's get some Ocean's 11 cuts here.
This doesn't require a roll, as Vivian is more than wealthy enough, but it's just a matter of what you want. Is everyone going in tuxedos, or the ladies going to choose to wear something else? How's this gonna look?
Is Chelsea included in these operations at this point?
Do you include Chelsea in this? A thin blood? Or at least from your that's what the Prince referred to her as?
My vote is yeah. James Bond always has a fluffer.
Well,
yeah,
and didn't
they
she
said they
say?
had. Yeah,
She
they had
said-
they had experience.
Yeah. She knows
Breaking
how to
in,
get
at
into a
least.
safe. Yeah.
I mean, if we don't want to bring her, I mean, I'm sure I could learn a thing or two from her over the next night.
Yeah.
Seeing as we're gonna spend our time with tuxedo fittings today, maybe tomorrow will be equipment gathering.
Like, is that some derision in your voice? The tuxedos will be very important. If we go to this ivory tower, we can say that we are collecting something that the prince has left behind. And because we're dressed the part, there you go, all of a sudden, James Bond becomes very important.
Yeah.
Sure.
not be
Sure. I'm
convinced?
sure that's exactly how it works.
I mean, Bib's on board. Looking nice is always awesome. Spending money to look
Yeah.
nice is even better.
Yeah, Nora will dress in a tuxedo too, but I think for the most part she's gonna be invisible. Just trailing along in case that goes very poorly.
Okay. So,
And,
you guys are getting custom fitted suits, and the next thing is equipment that would be considered illegal. Because while drills are readily available, diamond tipped drill bits for going into heavy metal is not something you can acquire off the store. So, if anyone has any kind of contact that involves illegal things, or at the very least has streetwise, which one of you would like to make a roll?
I have Streetwise 1. I do not
I've
have a
got-
contact. I'm guessing
got a-
Morgan probably knows somebody.
Yeah, I've got a black market specialization in Streetwise too.
There we go. So make the streetwise roll, but when you do it, make sure you click your specialization in the options.
What is it? Just straight Streetwise, or is there an attribute there as well?
Oh, let's say wits. Also, someone suggested that you buy an EMP generator.
Yeah, that was going to be next. Ooh, that's
Wow. So not only did he suggest James Bond spy equipment, he somehow knows where to get James Bond spy equipment.
I'd
Wherever
like
he
to-
disappears off to in the night, he
Yeah.
comes back with a briefcase with diamond-tipped drill bits of varying bit sizes, glass cutters, suctions to when you cut the glass, you sort of suction it out. All in a neat little package.
What life did you live before this, Morgan?
I know a guy called Q.
Uh-huh.
Excellent work.
It's important to note here that normally Finnbloods have special abilities, but because Chelsea was literally born 2 days ago, she's gonna be acting as a mortal with some stuff.
Emergency snack?
Definitely not. I think backup in that case, if there's no abilities that we would have seen over our time in preparation.
Someone has bought you guys a +2. So,
Oh, we got another one? Awesome. We had 2 left over at the
there
very
one
end.
beforehand.
Yeah, we had 2 left over at the end of last session. Records of the Realm
Oh.
and Culture Nerd both dropped +2s. And now we just got one from Nolan and North. So thank you.
So I will leave the players to decide if you want this as actual dice rolls for later, or if you want some narrative boost, help in the job in general. What do you think would be more important to you at the moment?
Morgan just walked in with James Bond equipment on a one roll. I don't think we need boosts. That's my vote.
We will probably end up needing dice boosts.
Yeah,
You can also see it in the way that he's already spent his luck for the night.
precisely.
Through that.
So let's table that and you decide where you want to use it later. But custom suits, spy gear, Nora taking the blueprints and very concerningly expertly deciphers best method to go around a high security place without being detected.
She's got normal hobbies.
Yeah, that's how you got into this on life. Normal hobbies.
Yep.
For,
Totally
for
normal.
Vivian, and partially Drake, since the two of you are the ones who are sort of the odd people out with this preparation, other than Drake being somewhat tech savvy, surprisingly tech savvy.
I'm rather tech savvy, I'd say.
Yeah, but in the kind of tech things that you don't normally do.
Tech is tech.
So, for the two of you, it's great that these two seem to have a knack for this. It's a little concerning that your coterie has a knack for this. It brings up the question what they were doing in their actual lives. That they have this set of skills on them. But for now, it's useful. Questions can come later. Or for Vivian, never, because you're not going to be responsible for them for much longer if they do this right. So, 2 nights. Anything else before the fated evening?
Just so Vivian wants to get a handle on everybody's disciplines and blood powers.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have somebody that has cloud memory?
I think I do.
Excellent.
Weirdly?
I do, yes. Not weirdly, it's from my scene queen.
Excellent. So, rather than costing a rouse check on mortals, I can compel them to go away and you can tell them to forget. And they won't know that they met us. So, and if we do need rouse checks, I can be a little bit more convincing and actually rewrite memories, as we have done many times with the guard at the security desk.
Nora's new dementation skill could be useful too, if you wanted to cause a distraction with someone, maybe.
Sounds good.
I have picked up sensing the unseen as well.
Oh,
as well
yes.
as completeness.
You might want to just keep that on and running. That could alert us to any thaumaturgy, the blood magic of those Tremere, like wards that keep out certain things and whatnot. I think that would be an excellent idea to keep active.
I'll do my best.
Morgan's excuse me. Morgan hasn't really picked up any new talents or skills. He's just been training a lot. So you notice he's got calluses across his knuckles. You can see that his fingers have changed into talons more frequently, and they have more of an animalistic look to them. But he seems to be more reliant on the tuxedo and the glass cutters.
That gives me a reminder, Morgan, because your weapons, your training and everything relies on hand-to-hand. It does fall under brawl, not melee, but I'm happy to transfer your dots just to make them useful. Because melee is related to a weapon. So we'll just transfer
I see.
that.
Yeah, that was the intention. Thank you.
Yep, that's fine. So, Morgan's leaning into his blood. The gangrel inside of him is finally starting to come out, especially after he dealt with his sire. The claws are there. Those, as much as Vivian knows, extremely dangerous gangrel weapons that can cause great bodily harm even to kindred. Useful tool, because while all of the elders are mating with Jackson, that doesn't mean all of the kindred are. And you know that he has some people in Chicago who are hidden from most of the society until they're needed.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Everyone good with their prep?
Yeah, I think we just cover the plans that Nora has and make sure that we all know them. And
I think we all need to catch a meal for safety's sake as well.
Yeah.
That is
Nora definitely
next thing
needs
is
to
gonna
eat.
get. I need a rouse check from each of you for the night that you awaken before you have to go to this heist. Oh no. Oh, that's
God.
one after the other.
Oh, please no.
This is why we got black tuxedos.
Oh, no.
Oh, for
No.
4.
so the good
You are-
news on that bestial
It's a
failure,
cursed
Nora,
night.
is
It
that
doesn't
bestial
apply.
failure only applies for using oblivion disciplines, which none of us have because none of us are La Sombra.
Or for when you're rolling and it has a bestial writ and then you failed, that becomes bad. But
Yeah, but I mean for the
Either
rousing
way-
blood specifically.
oh yes, rousing blood. It's just a regular failure. The bad news is you're all hungrier. So as you awaken this evening, on what could potentially be a life or death situation, with very dangerous stakes, and everything that you have on the line, the beast gets riled up a bit. There's a twitch in the back of your head. You can feel that hunger there. That might be dangerous if you don't deal with it now. So would you guys like to feed?
Yes, Vivian's going to contact one of her students and have a
So you're eating
quick
for free.
snack,
It's
not
been a
not
week.
the whole evening, just a
So
more quick.
to paint this picture for you, you are the head of a school calling a student in the middle of the night, and then they leave with very strange feelings.
Yep.
And no memory of what happened.
Yep.
Oh, the same for Drake.
Okay.
It's twofold.
Drake is feeding on students as well, in the middle of the night where they leave your office with very strange feelings that they shouldn't be having after leaving a teacher's office. Okay. Nora, you guys can take out the one. Nora and Morgan, would you like to attempt to feed tonight, or would you like to leave it to fate when you enter the tower?
Nora's gonna start checking locks in her apartment building.
Great.
See if
Nora?
one's open.
Your feeding roll is simple, a dex and stealth roll. And for Drake, feeding on the animal shelter. Sorry, not Drake, Morgan.
Yeah, part of me is thinking that while Drake is out feeding on students, I should check and make sure his apartment's locked up, knowing that he's got a cat. But the other part of me knows that we'll really fall out if I do that. So I think I think I'll probably go back to the animal shelter quickly and try and let myself in and see if there's something which is lined up for some surgery that's maybe minor surgery that I can make a small meal out of.
So because you have a vet contact, we're going to switch the roll to a dexterity and wits and medicine.
Okay.
Especially if you're gonna give the animal a little something to,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Get
You
all
learned from
those-
me last time.
Well,
A small animal does not give as much blood as a regular human, so you feed on multiple ones with multiple syringes of varying degrees of whatever you're putting in them. Not like you know. Not like you understand what these chemical names in the syringes are. But they sure as hell give you a good buzz. So, drop your hunger down to 1. You're fed. You're ready to go. It's time.
Let's do this.
It's about
then.
8 p.m. The kindred have been let out. You can see from a distance most of the important kindred are leaving the ivory tower, making their way far into the north side into Prince Jackson's luxurious home. But for you, you're entering. Or rather, you park a few blocks away, you walk down certain parts of the street, and you get to a back alley of the tower. Once you're there, looking at the tower from the bottom going up, it's massive. 67, nearly 70 stories. Of course, the top 10 floors are typically not available for anyone to use. There's a security guard who goes out looking. He's looking at the four of you sharply dressed in black tuxedos. Is this a Bond film?
See?
Alright, get in. I got my orders. The security cameras down this hallway and on this floor are on loop for the next hour, so you've got that much time to figure out what you're gonna do next.
Thank you.
Just nods, makes sure you got the keys, lets you in. So the basement, at least, you don't have to worry about security cameras, but you do still need to avoid the roaming guards that aren't on your side. So for that, dexterity plus your stealth. Three. Nora, why are you in for hunger?
Yeah, I did do a
Nora.
feeding roll.
Yeah,
Can we have a talk?
Nora, what are you doing?
I
You're
don't
on one.
know.
It's fine. Vivian, Morgan, Nora, Drake, please.
Drake,
Drake, yourself.
Oh, did it not roll? What the?
Oh, sorry, I didn't see it. It's only the three of them so far.
Oh, no worries. There it goes.
Okay. You move. There are some roaming guards, but they're night guards, they're human, and most of the ivory tower does have human staff. After all, this building is rented out to human spaces to make money. So there are human corporations renting floors here. The guards don't really know what's going on. They just move around. You move past them. There's a moment where Nora contemplates probably eating one of them, but you remember that, oh, yeah, I already ate. It's fine. When you move up to the first floor, the good news is you're in the hallway where that door to the fire exit is, coming from the basement. The bad news is you're in that hallway, and the moment you open that door widely, the guard in front is going to notice it's being opened. So it's like guard, door of basement. There's not a lot of room for you to hide because it's just empty hallway. And the door you're coming out of is about 30 or so feet away from him. What do you want to do?
I'm first going to attempt to pass it off as though, yeah, we belong here, kind of thing.
While walking
Manipulation.
towards the fire exit?
Oh, I
Like
thought
while walking towards the guard?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're coming out of the basement and you have to walk towards that. Okay, sure.
Yep.
Let's go with manipulation and etiquette.
Okay.
Persuasion can come when he questions. Wow. Never doubt Vivian isn't good at her job. She walks forward. You know the people who crash parties and then they just walk in like they own the place, like they just belong and eat all the food? Vivian's just walking in like she owns this hallway, like she owns this building. Almost like she's ready to go Karen on the guard for asking why they're here. Which the guard doesn't call for an alarm because you look like you belong here. But he does look at you and say, excuse me, ma'am, this is the fire escape?
Yes, I was just chatting with the guard downstairs. It's all good.
Manipulation, subterfuge.
No, not discipline. Stop that. attribute.
Free. Okay. The guard looks. Oh. He looks at the suits. Oh. Very well. He opens the door.
Congratulations. You have passed your test. She gives him a smile and a pat on the cheek.
Thank you.
As we
Just
walk past,
opens the door.
As we walk past, I'm going to slip inside his jacket pocket the card of the tailor.
He looks at it. He looks back up as you guys are walking and then just closes the door. Probably contemplating if he can afford a suit. Next. It's a 55 floor climb up the stairs. The issue here is the staircase to a fire escape tends to be annoyingly loud, like it echoes through the cement. But there's no guards here so far. But I need wits and awareness, just so you guys have your wits about you. Make sure that you're not stepping on anything. Who's first to notice? Oh, Drake's hungry. Oh wait, you fed. You can put your hunger down to 1.
Very cool.
First to notice is Vivian, but the rest of you are fine. Vivian has to stop you from moving forward because you can hear 2 guards talking about 2 more stories worth of stairs ahead of you. Their voices are echoing. There's talks about them. They talk like ghouls, talking about the boss or the prince is gone. One of them discussing with the other. Prince went out, you know what's going on? Not a clue. Didn't tell me anything. Just said he had important business with some of the elders of the city. And we're left with guarding this place. Fiend who's dumb enough to break in. Easy job. And you can see smoke coming through, like they're probably having a smoke break. Hey, Prince seem a little, jittery. You know he'd kill you for that remark. I know, I'm just an observation, like something's bugging him. Not our business. Let's just get this over with. Another night shift in the books. They smoke, but about 3-4 minutes later, they do leave. They continue walking up. You can see the cigarettes on the trash can that they've just sort of put in the top ashtray of a bin. You continue moving. Do you wanna do anything or talk about anything on your way up? Some strategy? You can talk softly where it won't be heard.
The schematics that we have, do we know what the floor we're walking to will look like?
Yes. Once you get up the fire escape, you're going to be right in the hallway next to the elevator. And this is the top floor, so there are no rooms here. It's just the elevator, hallway, and then the entire room is just one large place. The entire floor is just one large room. That's typically where you have the Elysiums. But because Jackson is called for a special one, it's an empty room. That's your target place. Or at least in there is where your target would be.
And the floor below it, or a floor or 2 below it, is one elevator particularly easier to get to than the rest of them? Might be an idea to send a couple up in the elevator and a couple up on the lift.
The issue with the elevator on this floor is it's a singular elevator. It doesn't go to any other floors. So
And it
that
probably
also
needs a
means that
key
no
card.
other elevators go to this floor.
and it probably needs a key card.
Should I go ahead invisible to see if we can just get there naturally? If there's any obstacles that might be in the way?
But listen carefully at the door before you open it. We don't want another interruption like that last one.
Will do.
Rouse for Nora. Nora goes unseen and makes no sounds. For the first time ever, Drake, you're actually able to see her. Slightly. Just, it's nice that she can't necessarily sneak up on you, at least with that method anymore.
Yeah. There's
Maybe.
comfort.
That's what you think anyway. Take comfort in that. Nora, you rush upstairs. You can move a little faster than the others because you don't make as much sound. Run right through. Since you're going to be the first one there, you're at the floor where the schematics point. The problem is the keypad. There is a keypad to open that fire escape, which, in retrospect, pretty bad building safety protocol. But, it's the ivory tower. They need to protect their most valuable assets. So, this is two things you can do. Wits and technology to hack it. Dexterity and larceny to break it.
I think I'm going to do dexterity and larceny.
Great. Remember, there are free floating +2s if you'd like it to be narratively beneficial or give you 2 extra dice.
I'll take the 2 extra dice.
Okay. Larceny, dexterity, then you can click add custom modifier, make it a value of 2 after confirming. By the time you guys get up there, Nora's scouted the place and has removed the keypad and cut certain wires that have opened the lock of the door, or at least the electronic part of the lock, with a concerning degree of efficiency. Not the time to question it, but a good thing to note about her. Keypad gets cut. Metal lock releases. You can open the door to the hallway. That hallway does have 1 security camera there. Now Nora can get through it. You haven't made a sound necessarily. The rest of you just sort of see a keypad that's been destroyed with efficiency. So Nora is safely able to go to the hallway without being seen, but the rest of you...
Does Nora have Ghost in the Machine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Didn't realize that. That's, yes, please.
So, Nora, the next thing, because you're the only one that can sort of squeeze through the door and be in front of the security camera and not get caught. In order to neutralize this camera without alerting security of a missing camera feed, because you don't want them coming up here, requires your wits and technology.
Okay.
And if you need another +2, go ahead and take it. This is an important one.
There are 2 more floating ones.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. It's technology.
Do it now before someone decides to buy you a -2.
It's
technology and wits, then
wits,
then another modifier.
And then a +2. All right.
Amazing. Grab the wires, cross them a bit. It probably glitches for a second, but given this is 60 floors, there's a very good chance that security guard didn't notice the glitch. So you just loop it on a flat image. Okay.
They use the same type of technology to protect apartment buildings. It's interesting.
That is interesting. Morgan's just in the stairwell playing with his 50 cal pistol. Getting ready.
Definitely bigger than what James Bond uses. But you have a firearms dot now, which means that you finally have turned the safety off.
Well,
So,
hopefully not yet.
Nora, maybe. So Nora is no longer invisible because you have to give them the signal to come in, but the cameras are neutralized. Down the hallway, for obvious reasons, there will be no cameras in the Elysium part of this building. So you don't have to worry about that, but there is a much more in-depth security lock to get to Elysium.
Mhm.
It's still a keypad, but it's definitely a much longer code. What's the approach you guys would like to take?
Drake, you
Hack
think you
it,
can figure
break
it out?
Probably, just to think about it. I mean, how long of a cut?
You can also tell Chelsea to, if you prefer.
No, I mean, should we? That's a group decision on who we let the blame fall on if it goes wrong. Pretty much.
The thin blood.
We're working as a team. Whoever's
That's
best
fair.
at solving puzzles like this electronic lock that should do it.
I could
Rick
probably
has
reason
enough
out.
thoughts.
Yeah, I could reason out what the code might be.
We just hit a -2 from chat.
Oh,
So that last +2 is
miserable
gone.
Chunky.
All right, now I'm going to take the roll in spite of Junkie.
I guess you do still have the one last +2 to neutralize it, or you can take the -2.
No, I mean, I'll let them neutralize, I guess, because
Oh, someone
there's no
neutralized it.
+2.
There you go. Someone's fighting the negatives.
culture nerd. I'll roll with the +2 now then.
So
Quickly,
just make a
quickly.
flat roll
Okay.
and make a flat roll, and there's still a +2 floating around there.
Gotcha. What's the roll?
Technology and intelligence.
You got it.
That is a neutralized plus and minus. That is owned.
We
One.
are definitely willpower re-rolling that.
Go ahead. There we go.
Jesus,
well,
you've
2.
got to be kidding me.
It's 2 successes at least.
Out of
That's fine.
7 dice?
Actually, that's not entirely fine because it is a more complex lock. So this is where you have the chance. You can now use that +2 as a narrative to make sure the alarm doesn't sound from a misstep, and then try again,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
see what happens if the alarm
Yeah,
sounds.
let's burn that
Okay.
+2 as a plot twist. Or a plot
Great.
narrative.
So you were clipping wires, and there's a difference in how they've wired this compared to most of other things. Compared to what you were told by Chelsea as well. A more advanced version of it. And there's 2 of the same wires with shared colors. You were about to clip the wrong one, but you think better of it. Like, there has to be another way to do this. So you just sort of grazed the shielding of the wire, but not the actual copper inside it just yet. It's like, there has to be a better way than taking a 50-50 risk.
Yeah.
So you may attempt again.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Unless... Make the roll before someone in chat decides to give you something else.
Oh my goodness. Okay. There we go.
4. There you go.
4
4.
successes.
Okay.
2
got
pieces, 2
You got there.
superficial willpower damage.
It's close.
What you got there? You look, you frustratingly look at it until you find a way to rewire the keypad. Get some information out of it, attach it to a phone or some form of device that Morgan probably bought from the black market. Find the last code used, and enter it. And voila, the doors open for you. Just like a sliding door, glass doors. And the four
Behind
of
that
you,
door is another -2.
2 from Junkie.
Junkie doesn't like you.
Guess what, Junkie? We still
okay.
did it. We got
Junkie.
through.
Don't goad him, man. Don't go.
Oh, I will goad. I will goad, in fact.
I warned you. I know this person, and they're extremely petty, so be careful who you're goading.
Good. I am too.
Okay, 2 petty people. This makes for good. Alright. You enter in. This is a room that you have been to before. A room where your lives were threatened, and a room where your lives were quote-unquote graciously given back to you. This is where it began, and potentially this is where it can begin again. Elysium is a grand room. It's meant to house dozens and dozens of people, along with humans and kindred. This is a place where Prince Jackson can exert his power, his influence, and his overall bravado over the people of Chicago. Now, as you move around here, you were told that there is a safe somewhere in this room. So you may now start looking with some intelligence and investigation.
Prince Jackson has a big chair, doesn't he, in this place?
Yes, he does. Like a large chair in the center of a few other chairs around a slightly elevated platform.
Nora is going to abandon ship and go sit in the chair.
Can I make a composure insight to assist someone's investigation?
Yes. You can do that first before someone rolls the investigation. But there is a -2, so you'll be taking that hit.
Yep, thinking about the way that Prince Jackson thinks and where that might be. And I got the -2 in there.
Unfortunately, Nora is no longer with you, as she has decided to sit on Prince Jackson's throne.
Yeah.
Someone was gonna.
That is free. So I will give the next person who rolls investigation. I'll give you the same amount of successes as extra dice.
Drake, do you want to have a look
So who wants to
around?
roll?
Sure,
And
I'll do that.
Can I spend a bit of while Drake's looking around? Can I try and use my streetwise to put the last 2 keypads back to looking somewhat normal after we've had them opened and cut open, just to try and cover our tracks
Just
a bit?
looking normal. Sure. Manipulation streetwise. Or wits. I'll let you use wits. Streetwise then wits.
Okay.
Drake, you rolled that with a +3? Okay.
Yep.
Great. Nora is sitting on the throne of the prince. Vivian, ignoring this blasphemy, is helping Drake find a particular place where a safe might be located, while Morgan is helping trying to make everything seem as it was. Obviously, you can't fix cut wires, but you can at least, actually you could. You could probably just tie them together, tie the copper up together. And then screw the keypad back in. No one really ripped it out of the wall.
I'm using like some chewed up gum or something to stick them together. Just something I learned down an alley somewhere to kind of.
I saw Spy Kids
Sure.
too, and they did this. It worked great.
Sure, right, yeah.
Vivian is only ignoring Nora's blasphemy because Vivian wants to as well, but knows better. It's like, that may not be my seat, but I'm going to have a seat just like it one day.
Yeah, it's only going to be blasphemy for so much longer, right? The prince will not be the prince much longer.
True, you can't imagine Horatio Bauer's gonna want the same throne Jackson sat on. But
I'll ask for that as Vivian has her own plans.
Wow. I imagine Nora's just sort of man spreading on the seat right now, enjoying the luxury. Okay.
She
So,
is. She's swirling an imaginary wine glass.
We're all welcome to do the part we came here for, and not sit down in chairs.
Drake, why don't you take our picture? This is an important moment in this journey.
No,
Yeah, it's a very important moment.
No
Drake.
picture.
we're
Pictures.
leaving a clue, but it's not going to be that.
We could all get a picture. Set a timer, and we can all stand around the chair.
We need
Yeah.
a specific
I mean,
camera
there
for
is
that,
other
and
chairs.
Drake probably has a Polaroid on hand somewhere.
I don't carry
but
this for jokes.
We could get a
I
family
carry this
photo.
for art.
Drake's
Chelsea.
losing his mind. You're giving him a bane. So while you're here, Vivian and Drake, or sorry, Vivian eventually points out if you're keeping a safe somewhere here, it's probably not going to be visible or tacky like behind an art painting. It's going to be somewhere that people likely wouldn't expect, especially if it's something as important as Horatio Ballard makes it seem out to be. Then you realize that if it was you, a floor safe underneath a tile, a perfectly laid out tile. If it's something you need to keep but don't want people to see, harken back to some old movies. The tile would actually be a proper tile. It would be plastered on it so that you'd have to actively break it. But it shouldn't be somewhere too far where you would have difficulty getting to it in an emergency. So you imagine close to the door, close to the throne.
It's under
So
my
one of the
chair,
tiles in
dude.
the center. No, he would never destroy his own throne. But
Just
Drake can
beneath it.
surmise. Yeah, but the seat is plastered on the podium, like it's there. It doesn't move, like a real throne. So
Well, we could work
Drake does
something.
manage to find, from Vivian's deductions, that there is architecturally and just logically a certain number of tiles that you can check and start breaking up that would make sense to place it. Somewhere you can get to, somewhere easy, somewhere people don't commonly step on. Because when the prince is over his throne, the platform in front of it, the flooring in front of it, is rarely someplace people step on to look at him. They're always at the sides. There's always an aisle open for the prince. That would be where you'd put it. So, thanks to Morgan, you do have some crowbars, some plying tools, an entire 19th century doctor's bag full of random tools that you can use and start plying open some tiles, chisel, hammer, the old school.
Well, I think it's best if we maybe try to hone in a tiny bit more, because if there's a security system
Yeah.
for the tile or the box or whatever it might be, that limits our time.
Plus,
Which
that
is-
leaves a pretty huge trail to just like leave broken tile everywhere.
Which I think
Well, you
we
don't
can
want to
wait,
break the
I guess
tile.
they do want
You
us
need to.
pry it up.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
prying
and
it.
also you don't need to break the tile either. You just sort of leave it loose because they do want you to show that something was taken. But you don't have to break the tile. You can sort of just break the cement binding it, and then pry it open, which does require a fair bit of finesse. So someone might want to get Nora out of her ass for a larceny roll,
All right, I'll help.
or Morgan actually, if Nora wants to keep sitting. Morgan seems to be
Nora
pretty good
is
at this.
pretty comfortable.
I mean, I brought the tools, Nora. This seems. I see myself as a Vivian of the future. I see you as a thief of the night. Maybe you should make the role. It would be a shame if the tuxedo didn't get a single crease in it.
I don't steal things, but okay, I will.
You aren't stealing. You're opening. I'll steal it. You're just opening. We'll compromise.
Fair enough.
Nora, larceny and dexterity, you will get a +1 for the benefit of the tools that we've been given.
Okay, +1.
Actually, no, a +2. Morgan got a pretty high roll on that.
Okay.
Shouldn't be wasted how he got some very expensive tools. +2. So add custom modifier 2.
Ooh.
All right.
Damn.
Once again, she's too good at this. There's a very delicate finesse, and you seem to see that she doesn't even use the hammer, and she opts for the method that would, off the top of your head, let's say, not wake someone up if they're in a sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes quietly as she just and very delicately moves the tile away, revealing so there's like cement surrounding it, but slightly under that cement, so there's no bevel protruding from the tile, is an actual floor safe. This safe is not electronic. This safe is old school. The size of a tile is about 1.5 meters by 1.5 meters, but the safe itself is just 1 meter. Oh, 1 square meter.
Chelsea, is
So-
this the type of safe that you said you were good at?
She looks at it. This is extremely old school, but yeah, I can open this. Rich folk have this in their homes all the time. I'll open it. She stops talking.
Stay away from my home, would you?
That goes for
I don't know
you
what
as
you-
well, Nora.
Nora seems to smile with a sense of approval at what Chelsea has just said.
Well, before
There
Chelsea
is-
starts opening this safe, should we, more practical Morgan, hiding our tracks, should we take some precautions? Maybe check out the exits, check out the lighting situation in case this 2-day-old thin blood turns out not to be as good as Nora at cracking safes.
It's a reasonable idea.
Fire escape, leaving bodies as necessary might be our backup plan. But yes, please see what you can do about getting us back out of here.
Well, whenever
So-
you're a happy storyteller, I'd like to make a roll on if there's like some lighting controls here that could be cut, or so, I don't know, something on those lines. That's what I'd like to be doing.
Right.
But Chelsea, by all means, can crack on for the minute.
So you're
would
making.
Would Nora be able to offer support to Chelsea?
Yes, you can make. You can make the same roll of larceny and dexterity. Morgan, I'll have you roll larceny and intelligence because you're setting yourself up for escape, which falls under the larceny skill. And Nora will help Chelsea with 1. Okay. Let's see what she can do with this.
Yeah, I'm not getting caught in this tuxedo.
About to see 12 dice get rolled.
You don't want to get caught?
Not in this tux.
On the bright side, Chelsea does have that one benefit of not having the beast necessarily. So this doesn't go as badly as it normally would. But with Nora's help, as she is manipulating the locks, it's difficult when you are worried about everything and Morgan is doing something rather valid of making sure that you're not caught, that there's a way to escape. It does entail a bit of noise. And the problem with this safe is Chelsea's method is the old stethoscope. Like an amplified stethoscope. She looks at Morgan, realizing what he's doing, tosses the stethoscope, and grabs the silent drill bit. And rather than figuring out where the combination lies, she's using the stethoscope to find where the locks are, and she's precision drilling through it. So it's a little more messy than than the method she was trying, but it does get the job done. It's just breaks off. She turns the safe and she opens it.
Impressive.
Within the safe,
I was
or
gonna eat
within
you
that
about
safe,
half an hour ago.
We know.
you were what?
Oh, never mind.
Bad taste of jokes.
I don't think that was a joke. But the safe is open and she's looking. She reaches down for one. It's a gold bar. Dozens of them. Hold on. Could you help me? She looks at Nora, basically putting the bars out.
Of course.
When you get through those bars, you'll realize that there's a ladder in that hatch.
Ooh.
1 square meter is just enough to fit a person. There's a ladder heading down a chute. Can't tell how far it goes. Could, if you have the discipline sense the unseen, I would like you to roll resolve by clicking resolve.
Yep.
And then add discipline aspects.
You got it.
Discipline aspect. Alright.
Okay. So Drake, wow, messy.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Unless you'd like to willpower to not make that a messy crit.
I would like to willpower.
So you'll have to willpower reroll, but specifically you'll have to reroll that 1 crit, which is the Ankh with the 2 stars. And the black, you'll have to reroll that and hope it still succeeds.
Okay. And that's by just clicking on the one with the 2 stars?
You just click on the result and then willpower reroll.
Yeah,
and then you click on it and the other one.
Click both of them.
Okay.
Just so you have more chance of succeeding. There you go. Now it's just a regular 2 successes. Okay. You and Drake, well, I'm assuming like you guys gather at the mention of, oh, there's a hatch.
Yeah.
And then the ladder after removing about 20 bars of gold, like solid gold bars. These look like the kind of things you'd find in Fort Knox. But they don't have any serial numbers, or the serial numbers have been filed off. But they're solid gold. There's a hatch that leads, or there's a ladder that leads down a hatch that you can open. While you're gathered around this opening, Nora and Drake realize that there's someone in this room that just entered through another passageway. And they're using the same abilities Nora has. But they're just watching.
Where are they precisely?
About 50 or so feet away from you right now. Towards a wall. Watching you.
Can I see them clearly?
Both of you can. There is a woman standing there. Blackened clothes. It looks like just a leather sleeveless jacket and a black tank top under. Black jeans, combat boots. Dirty-ish blonde hair. Staring. If you're looking at them, they'll notice, and eventually they'll just drop it. The potential sneak attack avoided, but they drop the illusion. And this woman walks forward. You four don't belong here. You can see that she has a belt around her, full of scalpels.
You seem interesting. Who are you?
I'm Alexa. I'm the Hound.
Hound.
When the sheriff's away, the Hound starts biting on those who are where they do not belong. And you don't belong. If any of you have even just one dot in politics at all,
Nope.
roll intelligence in politics to see if you've heard this person before.
And I also have status too.
You can add those as a custom dice or a custom modifier. So however many dots in status will add as a custom. So, you've heard of the name Alexa Santos, supposedly the prince's hound. The thing about this is Alexa is said to be a Malkavian officially. But she displays the abilities of a Hecata, a necromancer. And she deals a lot with dead bodies, usually cleaning up any murders that the prince needs cleaned up. This is now apparent to you as the rumors, but it is apparent to Drake and Nora that while she is standing in front of you, she is not the only spirit inside that body. It feels like she's housing ghosts inside her. She looks... well, there's certainly no escaping this.
I would
She
like
just
to make you
smiles.
an offer before you fulfill your duties, or attempt to at least. Work for a new prince.
She moves forward, but not hostile. Not hostily. She's moving forward to seemingly talk. Why?
If we are successful, Jackson will be forced to step down, and a new person will take his place. Not me, of course. I'm nothing. But our sponsor will be here to take over if we are successful.
But my task is to keep you from succeeding. So what benefit do I have for allowing you to succeed?
What benefit do you have from not allowing us to succeed?
Only the princess orders. So what do you offer that they do not?
Fellowship.
Drake. Perhaps, or sorry, Morgan, perhaps you could show her what kind of fellowship you've been working on.
Absolutely.
It's probably initiative. Or the equivalent
Not
thereof.
yet.
Oh, can I just role play that out? I'm gonna put the
This
doctor's
is-
bag down on the floor in between her and I, and I'll pull out a margarita glass before jumping towards her.
Just for the record, if you want to go the negotiation route, she is legitimately listening. if you don't want to fight her. But if you want to lunge at her, I will not stop you.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that she's calling herself the Hound. From where I stand, there's only one Hound in this room.
Oh, that pettiness. Okay. You get to lunge first because she was listening. So,
Can
if you
Nora
are pulling out
drop
your
out?
claws, yeah,
Can Nora drop out while that happens to just go invisible?
you can after because once she gets attacked, her attention will not be on you. So, first of all, you need a rouse check to activate the claws.
Done.
Great. Then you will now roll. Um, I'll let you use dexterity over strength. That's fine. So dexterity and brawl, and then you can um add a +2. Add a custom modifier of 2 because that's what your claws allow you. Oh no, sorry, you don't.
I didn't add it.
Yeah, that's fine because it adds to your damage, not the roll that you make.
Yep.
So
Okay.
you lunge at her with feral claws. This does not bode well for her ability to avoid, since that is 6 versus a 2. Okay, so you deal for
damage.
6 damage. Ouch.
Ouch.
And our
6 aggravated damage at that because of your claws. So you
Yeah.
cut her through. It looks like she does get hurt, and for all intents and purposes, you do notice that her body is badly injured, or it should be. But as she does this, Drake and Nora, you can make a rouse check now to disappear. But Drake and Nora do notice that there is a spirit over her that's acting as a sort of invisible armor. In which case, she is going to retaliate on Drake after giving you the benefit of the doubt.
on Drake.
But she is.
One
Sorry,
more.
not Drake, Morgan. She's going to retaliate on Morgan by first. Okay. Okay. So, I need Morgan to roll first stamina or composure with your subterfuge. Okay. Then I'll rouse for her. Oops. I made that roll private. Let me make that public. There we go. So she observes you for a split second, looking at your potential weaknesses, and then she attacks with her scalpel and a surge. Why not? So Morgan, dexterity and athletics to avoid as well.
Oh, can I push that?
You can willpower. Add some more to it.
Ugh.
Oh,
Oh,
So on the bright side, superficial. What I need you to do is hover your mouse over the 5th health box and just keep clicking until 5 of those boxes have been covered with a single slash. Just one.
Okay, done it.
So she takes the scalpel, 2 scalpels, and starts cutting through your bodies. While you're undead, you still follow some laws of how your body moves and cuts certain ligaments. And she just slices through with her scalpel.
A woman after my own heart.
Yeah. Nora's gonna Nora's gonna sneak in here. Try to rush over to where all the action is happening as quick as possible.
Sure. Combat, by the way, is sort of a narrative thing where you declare what you want, the enemy declares what they want, things happen in order if it makes sense. So since you're invisible, and you were invisible during that attack confrontation, you could close the distance without being noticed. What'll you do? Or do you wait for Drake to do something?
Nora's just gonna immediately, the moment she saw the hound, she started to remember that wonderful taste that she got from Diana a few nights before. And since it was so effective that time, she's gonna do the same thing.
Okay. So I need you to roll your dexterity, or no, this should be an appropriate roll for Oblivion. Yeah, make a roll for your dexterity and stealth, and then add. So when you pick stealth and dexterity, there's a thing that says add discipline. Add your Oblivion to, add your obfuscate to it.
Okay. Obfuscate.
And then roll.
Oh.
3, okay. She will roll against. She will willpower. She can do that too.
Yeah.
Oh.
3 to 3. So this doesn't mean you can't do it, but it does mean that she notices you at the last minute. She can see through your own invisibility, which means this becomes a contest instead of an automatic win for you. Strength and athletics against each other.
Strength and athletics. Uh-oh. That's not good. Strength.
Isn't
Do you want to wait to see if anyone's nice? Oh, sorry, brawl, yes. Strength and brawl.
Oh, that's worse.
Oh, sorry.
Brawl. Strength.
It is brawl for grappling, so. You can increase your dice. The blood surge, it will cost a rouse check, but you can increase it.
I'll do it. Alright. And then a rouse check.
Okay.
It did the rouse check for you.
Oh no, it already did. Like it added 2 dice for you right there.
Okay.
Thank you, miserable junkie.
What did Miserable do? Oh, you got +2, so allow Nora to roll 2 more dice.
2 more dice.
I suppose just
That's
roll
not gonna...
your roll dexterity. It's 2 dice.
Yeah.
Well, it could be a crit.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to use it right now.
1.
Okay, that's fine. 3 versus 5. At the very least, you don't get too hurt. So you lunge at her trying to bite. Yeah, you don't have any... Okay. So you lunge at her trying to bite, but it doesn't... Your teeth don't sink in. She grabs you and then shoves you towards a wall. You'll still take the difference in damage. Because she did fight back. 5 versus 3, was it? 2.
Yeah.
3. So click 2 boxes to kind of give a single slash on. Sorry, 1, because vampires have superficial damage, so 1. For Morgan, also remove 2 of those boxes because you cut superficial damage in half. So if you took 5, you're only taking rounded up to 3.
Oh.
Oh no, just click on them again to remove.
Yeah, no, I'll get there, don't worry.
Alright.
Done.
So, Nora, you get shoved back. Will Drake or Vivian do anything?
Vivian's going for the same thing. Vivian wants to remember what it's like to be at 0 hunger.
Uh-oh. Same thing. Strength and brawl.
Yeah. It's
Are
not
there
good, so we are going to
try?
blood surge for this. As Vivian gets hungrier, attempting to do the same thing. Ah.
So she is going to counter that, hopefully.
Yeah.
7. So you take free superficial when she shoves you towards the wall with a little more force. You guys,
Don't
Nora
want to
and
break out the gun because it makes so much noise.
it does.
Yeah.
Nora and Drake can tell that some of that strength is not from her. That spirit that's inside her body is giving her more strength than she should have. And she shoves Vivian into a wall. So, that leaves Drake before we go to another round.
Yeah, with my friends overwhelming them, I don't think I'm going to get in and be very effective. So instead, I will move over to our weapons bag and get out the stake gun for myself, throw Chelsea a stake, get a few out just strewn across the floor for us to pick up reactively as a team. But instead of using it as a weapon, because there's like 4 bodies over there and 3 of them I don't want to hit, I'm instead going to work mentally against them, and I'm gonna push out my awe and scream forget at both the spirit and Alexia, and try and kind of stun them for a moment.
This is good. Do your manipulation presence to capture the awe to her. She rolls a roll that does not get benefits from her spirit. But it's a worthy roll nonetheless.
Oh,
You're looking to fight against a 4.
I'll blood surge for this, just because of how hard I'm working for it in the moment.
Yes. 4. I will grant the tie to the player. To the aggressor, which is you. So, you catch her attention with the awe. It doesn't last for long, but it lasts long enough for you to use Dominate. Now, if you recall how Dominate works, if it does work, there is a moment where they are vulnerable and not doing anything. Because they'll be caught in it. But it has to work, so you are rolling the Cloud Memory skill, which in under disciplines you can just sort of click the symbol next to it.
Yep.
And she is resisting with wits and resolve.
And thanks to awe, I'll get to add my my presence since it's a charisma related roll.
Technically, yes. So when you click it, add your presence dot. So add 2.
Yeah.
Like add the custom modifier 2.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, that calls for my willpower.
Hmm.
Ooh, not good. So, just enough.
Wow.
So you use your awe and get this magnetic attraction going. And she looks to you. The rest of you have learned to avoid looking at Drake by this point. Making sure you don't get caught up in this, because this is an AoE where you don't get to select who does and doesn't get seen. But while that happens, Drake, you catch her attention, and she looks, and there's a moment where her eyes just widen, the pupils dilate for a bit, and there's a second here for the rest of you to do something. But on impulse, and again, you guys can do something as well, but on impulse, Chelsea is going to try and stake her with the gun, which does give +2. So she's got free. She will willpower that and see if we can get to a 5. No, she's got free. She does not suffer the effects of bestial failure, but the stake does go through a different area, dealing only superficial.
Yeah. Vivian's.
That does break the trance, but you still can do something mid-trance ahead of Chelsea. You're faster than her.
Vivian's gonna do the same.
Catch her
could
attention.
Nora try to...
Sweep to the shotgun.
Oh,
okay.
Nora's
The stake
just
gun.
gonna...
Stake gun, okay. So you're taking the stake gun, Nora?
Nora's just gonna rush in and try again.
Strength and roll. As long as you succeed, because she's not defending. But Vivian, go ahead with the firearms and dexterity. Actually, composure,
Oh.
since you have time to aim.
Could I?
Oh, that's still
Composure's-
fine.
Yeah, composure would be 1 extra die.
Roll an extra one. Just / roll d10. And then if you want to willpower, So that's 4 successes. You need 5 to successfully stake someone. But the gun gives you a +2. So 6 successes.
Okay.
So you stake her. And then at the same time, Nora is suddenly behind her with her fangs in her neck. Does Nora let go?
Nora is not gonna let go.
You don't have to. You can ignore the roll because she's been staked and tranced. So you can just sort of bite her, but Nora's just feeding. Do you continue?
Yep, she's gonna keep on going.
Do not drain
Do
the
the rest
heart's
of you
blood.
stop?
I think I'm gonna stop at a point where she's relatively incapacitated.
That would entail putting her at 5 hunger, but she is also staked. And then you stop. That is, however, quite a lot of blood. So, Nora, do you have any flaws to exploit right now? No, you do not. So, you've drank from her blood. You tasted the vitae that flows from it. Then you look at her and you can't help but feel a slight bit of heartache. She's not moving. And there's a little piece of you that wants to take that stake out. And I'll need you to roll composure and resolve.
This should be fine. I've got pretty good.
Oh, and you can remove hunger. Up to 1. Because you didn't kill her.
Yeah. Sweet. So it's composure and
Resolve.
resolve.
Okay. Good. You resist the temptation. You gain control of yourself, but you can feel that bond kicking in that she shouldn't be like this. But you just resist it. It's still there. It's gnawing at you to unstake her and let her loose, but no, you're resisting. Now you can basically leave her body there. You haven't made a sound yet.
Yeah, Morgan's not super happy about leaving the body.
Well, it's a good thing we're not.
Yeah, I'm actually am, but let me run this past my coterie. We don't need to kill her. We just need to make her forget that we were here because she could identify us, and we don't want that.
But to make her forget, you'd have to unstake her.
Yes.
She won't be able to remember when she's dead. So I vote we kill her.
I don't trust the existence of whatever was helping her.
It's still in
Good
her.
point. Yeah.
No, we're
Good-
putting
good
the head
point.
of the body in the hole. Now that after we figure out what we need to take as our message.
Yep. Put any remain. I don't know how old she is. There might be nothing left but ashes, but we will put
here.
the remains down the hole after we get what we came for.
Everyone back away then. And
I want to acknowledge that there are so many bad puns happening in the chat right now. It's just okay. Drake tells you to back away. What are you planning?
I'm gonna take out the Polaroid and
Polaroid.
get a picture of it.
Oh, can
Of
I
the
be in
state
the...
we have them left in. No, you're not in it. No one's in it. We're not telling them who did this. We're going. If there's ashes, we put this in the pile of ashes. Otherwise, this is our message.
This is a dominance thing. Hound
No.
on hound.
Morgan.
You're more of
You
a
can
wolf
have one for
anyway. You're
yourself.
fine, Morgan.
Morgan will walk away, but as he turns away, you'll sort of hear under his breath a little growl as his hands start returning to normal.
Morgan, we're not taking any of the gold bars, but if you wanted to scrape off filings for yourself, I won't notice.
If it's
It's
not
solid
all
gold.
about,
I think
it's
a
not all
gold
about
bar
money.
No, but that's compensation for losing the dignity of being in the photo.
Nora's gonna linger there for a bit. Not backing away quite yet. And she's going to say, you know, what would be a stronger message than a picture? Leaving the body right here. After I finish my meal.
You're not finishing your meal. That breaks the traditions.
We're breaking a lot of traditions, aren't we?
No.
If why don't you take a gold bar? It's better than tradition.
No.
Fine.
We were told to take only the thing, and the only evidence was to make sure that the item is noticed as missing. Leaving the remains of this one in its place is a surefire message. If you want some money, scrape a few grams of gold off the bars. They won't be noticed at all. But taking an entire bar might be.
I don't want the money. I just want all of you to know that I would have had her as soon as I'd got off my horse.
I understand.
I'm all gonna walk away.
Okay. So, you can head down the hatch if you'd like. See what's there.
Yeah, that's what Vivian will do as she walks away after putting everybody in their place, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Drake will finish off the hound.
Okay. You can saw the head off. Now,
Oh, reliable apparently.
Do you want the bone saw?
Yes, I want the bone saw, Morgan. Thank you, Dr. Morgan.
You're welcome.
That is the. I hate how this is the one object that has bound this team together for this entire campaign.
before we cut the break, you guys head down the hatch. You look forward, and inside the room, you'll realize that Nora, this is the part of the blueprints that don't make sense. It's just an empty floor and no way to get to it. It's a prison. Accessible only through the floor you're in. So there's like one floor that cannot be accessed by fire escape or by any means, except for what you found here. There's several kindred in those prisons, but there's one that stands out. Because he's wearing a particular outfit with a particular crest that seems to have been permanently scarred on his head. And it is the Camarilla's symbol. The Ankh. And there's blood magic that's keeping him from healing it, so it's just permanently there. I will need Vivian to roll politics and wits. He's a horribly deformed figure with only 1 or 2 strands of golden hair that's just sticking out of an otherwise severely burnt scalp. You don't recognize the face. It's destroyed. You don't recognize anything other than the suit, the crest. You don't know why he has a symbol burnt on him, but the suit and the crest are familiar to you. This is the supposedly dead once Prince of Chicago, Lodin. The one that supposedly died during the war with the wolves in the 90s. Is being held in Prince Jackson's what looks to be basement of Kindred. And if there was anything you were to take, it would be him. The problem is, while he is extremely hungry, he is not in torpor. So to take him, Morgan might actually have his chance to prove dominance. And that is where we will cut the break for now. Because that is very obviously your target.
Oh.
So,
Okie dokie.
we'll cut the break, come back in a bit. Don't go anywhere, because there's a very good chance this coterie is in over their heads at this point. See you in a bit.
Adios. Welcome back, everyone.
So, welcome back. Where we left this coterie, they discovered the old Prince of Chicago, one of the most powerful and oldest vampires in the city at the time. Now in a decrepit, horrid state, unbefitting of his once magnanimous presence, but still very much cognizant and awake, seemingly extremely hungry. And now the coterie has realized what their true goal here is. Who their true goal is.
All
The
right.
prince stands before you, and you hear the massive growlings in the background of the various kindred here who are all hungry, tortured. He looks towards the four of you, the five of you, including Chelsea, unsure what to make of this. What do you do?
Vivian will nod. Prince Loden, I presume, with a little bow. We're here to get you out, but we need to be able to guarantee our safety. So give us some moment. And then surveying the room to see the state of the rest. On break, you did say that there are some cells with torpid kindred. Torpor being a state of sleep, comatose for kindred. Is there anything to use down here? Are the cells open, or is there a key ring somewhere?
They're all locked. You'd have to break them open if you want to. But there are some of these kindred who are not torpid. They look like they're on the verge of a hunger frenzy, and you're their next meal.
Oh, they're all in the
With
same
Prince
cell
Loden.
together?
No, there's multiple cells, one for each of them.
Okay.
Just that there's no keys or anything, just doors.
Yeah.
But to your offer, Prince Loden looks. And where? Why would you do that?
On behalf of our sponsor. Morgan, can you work... Nora, can you work on opening some of the cells of the comatose kindred here?
Will do.
Our sponsor wishes to replace Jackson. And they requested you as leverage. Whether that means to sit you in his place or what, I do not know. I do not know their plans. Our task was to bring you to them.
And who is this sponsor you speak of?
It's a very gorgeous.
Was that
name. We'd love
so?
to meet her.
Quick question, storyteller. Was it specified
Yes.
anything about letting anybody know who the sponsor was, or the sponsor's sponsor?
Nothing was
for
said.
That matter? Nothing was said.
Nothing was said. So it's up for interpretation. But if they're gonna be Prince anyway, doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm. Our immediate sponsor is Ballard, but he is backed by an elder.
He scoffs at the name Ballard, but he looks at you with curiosity on that elder. Then he looks with anger. He runs for the bars and grabs them. Helena.
She said her name was Portia.
Lies. Shoves the door, rattles the cage. She has played Chicago for years. made everyone her puppets from the shadows. I will not be her pawn again.
Oh. Okay. Shotgun, stake shotgun back out. It's gonna go like that, is it?
Morgan, would you like to do the honors? This is a much worthier fight than the quote-unquote hound. The former prince.
No, I'm not opening that cell, but
Vivian, realistically speaking,
yes.
on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being absolute guaranteed success, 1 being agonizing a death a second time, what are the odds of us beating them in a fight at this moment?
He's inside a cage. I'd say that increases it to at least a 2.
Ah, from 1. Okay, see, that's...
If he were not in the cage, I would say this is a 1.
Have you got the souvenir from upstairs, Drake?
Was there a souvenir voice in the sky?
Did you grab the head?
Did they
Or
turn
did
to
you
ash?
leave it there?
Did they turn to ash or did they say?
There was a skull left behind.
Oh yeah, I'm holding it like a bowling ball with my eyes on my hands on the eye sockets.
Okay, cool.
The thumb
Alright.
and the nose.
Morgan's going to put his arm around Chelsea, and he's going to walk her into the middle of the room, and he will turn to the rest of the cages, which are currently closed, and he will say, "The blood from this one, for anyone who can bring me that thing's head before I get to it." And he'll toss Chelsea to the ground.
Under the false assumption that there was blood, I would
Yep.
like you to roll a... What do you have? Manipulation and leadership.
Oh man, that doesn't sound like it's going to be good.
You can always surge.
Yeah, I'm 100% blood surgeon.
Yeah, this is a
No
new
one's giving any
scene.
bonuses, but also no one's giving any penalties, so that's something.
Oh, that sounds good, but I don't know what it does mechanically.
That sounds like you really mean it.
Oh, I
Whether you
do.
did or not.
So first of all, Morgan, as an effect of the blood that flows through you, there is a moment where your eyes turn yellow, beast-like, and they don't turn back. Your fangs elongate to an unnatural degree even by vampiric standards, and your claws are out in your hands. Most of the kindred who are cognizant immediately turn their attention to him. It's almost like a pack of wolves bowing down to their leader. And they start running into the chains, through their chains into the thick tungsten met bars that block them. If you'd like, Chelsea would look like, you want me to open their doors?
No, the sleeping ones.
There.
I thought you were telling the big ones to fight.
Yeah,
They look like they want to fight them.
I was telling all the ones that look like they want to fight, but to fight this guy. But maybe you shouldn't open the doors, Chelsea. Maybe Nora is better placed at picking some locks. Otherwise, you might be yanked into one of them cages.
Yeah, let's avoid that. I'll do my best to unlock the ones that you'd unlocked.
And I'll head straight up for the big man.
Dex and larceny from Nora. While you're
Really
opening
should've-
cages.
Really
Remember,
should've put
Loden's
some-
cage isn't open yet.
No, that's cool. I've got a 50 cal waiting for him before I open that door.
Okay. Nora's opening doors one by one, and they all start rushing out past you, past all of you, trying to rattle the cage door open. Like feral kindred, just trying to break free, break open.
They're trying to break
Loden.
open Loden's
Loden's cage. Yep.
All right,
Loden
so
leans back against the wall, cracks his neck a bit, and he looks like he's waiting.
Cool.
Is anyone going to open his cage, or do you do anything?
I want to take a shot at his. I don't know if there's like an aimed mechanic or not, but I want to try and take a shot and maim his leg.
Composure with your firearms.
Will I be able to open the door at the same time?
Sure. You've
Sounds
already
cool to
rolled.
me.
You're fine.
Can I blood surge?
Yes, you can. 50 caliber pistol on an already injured cat.
Can I will re-roll that?
Yes, you can.
Cool.
Oh, that's 4 successes because that's a crit. Okay. Surprisingly, he doesn't have the best ability to evade.
Good.
Right on the knee. It's only superficial, but it still does some more damage to him. Then the cage opens, and these 5 feral kindred just jump in there and go for the kill. Or they try to go for the kill. They jump in. He starts attacking them. He starts getting hurt. A back and forth happens, assuming you don't want to jump in just yet. Waiting to see how it goes.
I don't know about anybody else. My idea is to use these guys as a distraction. So I don't want them to kill him because we need him. So I'm gonna get as close as I can, and if I need to kill these kindred before they kill him, I will. Otherwise, I'll try and put some damage on him.
Vivian has the stake shotgun loaded, ready to fire into the prisoners and/or Loden, whoever is the
Right.
whoever needs it the most at any given moment.
Yeah.
So, aiming is a bit of an issue with all of them here. But you guys will see that they try to attack him. There's some injuries that are dealt. But before anything proceeds any further, let's make him do a rouse.
Easy.
Ooh, hunger 5. Not good. But he does manage to do one thing. When they're all piling up on him, he shoves them away and he looks and addresses the 5 of them. Leave. As feral as they are, all 5 of them just exit. Not before doing some significant damage. But since the door is open, it's now the 4 of you and him.
Nice.
While that's going on, can Nora just, after taking in everything that's just happened and knowing where this is probably going, she's going to go to Chelsea and say, "Let's get you up the ladder, okay?"
Just nods and starts climbing up.
Nora's gonna follow her up.
Well, that leaves the 3 of you here. Loden is looking, and he's going to go after Morgan first. So Morgan, that's dexterity and athletics. Actually, dexterity and athletics. Because he too is going to summon claws from his hand.
Nice.
So you might get that 1-on-1 after all.
Yeah. I think I might. I can blood surge this as well, right?
As long as you're not on 5
So
hunger.
if it's the same, since it's the same scene, as long as it's the same stat you're rolling, the blood surge is for that specific attribute.
Yeah, but he did the firearms earlier when he rolled.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So the moment you search this, you'll get the +2, 3. Okay. You avoid. The claws come after you. They do, however, cut your very nice bond suit, but not you.
It's what it's there for. Let's be real.
So, what do the rest of you want to do?
So it's a 2 dice penalty for a called shot, right?
Yes.
And the 5 difficulty for the staking.
For staking, yes.
Yep. I've still got 8, 9 stakes left here, so blood surge.
You can try and stake him.
Blood surge, trying to stake with the shotgun.
Wow.
Oh no, that's not right. I did it. I left it at +2 instead of -2 when I did the called shot.
Oh. Sorry, yeah, do it again.
Yep.
He will.
Why is that not? Why didn't it cancel? Firearms, attribute, composure, confirm, custom. It's not asking me about the modifier window is different this time. It
For
doesn't
firearm?
show it. Yeah, it's not showing the blood surge active check mark. So I don't know if the
Oh. When you click firearms, there's a blood surge check mark there. Just click that.
yeah, but that makes it roll again. There used to be in the in the custom it was not.
When you click confirm, the custom modifier comes out, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the box used to have a blood surge and a checkbox for active or not.
Yeah.
That's not there anymore. Now it is. That's weird. Oh, because
it might have just been hidden under the sheet. Go ahead.
Come on.
So custom modifier -2.
See, it did the hunger. It did the new hunger check, which it shouldn't have. But
oh, you can take out the hunger.
Yeah,
you already did it.
Yep.
So
only 3.
You will try to avoid that.
It still might do damage. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't hit him. It flies through. You'll have to reload the stake, but he manages to avoid it. Nora's helping Chelsea out, so that leaves Drake and Morgan.
Where are these other kindred going? When they were told to leave,
he seems to be able to control them to a group degree. So they just left, and they climbed up, and they left.
Well, that's too late to handle now, and that's going to be a massive breach because we just let like 5 or 6 definitely hungry kind just leave the building, and we'll also probably trip several alarms. So I guess I gotta help. I guess I'll go in and try and help subdue Loden. I guess.
What do you do?
I guess I'll go in with the stake. I guess, or no, I have my gun. What am I thinking? Yeah, I'll just start shooting for Loden.
Composure and firearms. Ooh, he actually dodges the bullet.
Hey, good for him.
Gunshot gets heard, and he just... Luckily, this is a soundproof room. So, that leaves Morgan.
Yeah, so after those 2 shots ring out, I'm gonna move to where the door is, Is there like if there's chain in this room or that has been holding him or anything like that? I'd like to try and secure the doorway, so it's just him and me in this cell.
In the cage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cage match.
So technically, you can go in there and bend the bars so that they can't be open, like manually.
100%. Yeah.
You just slam the cage closed, you rend the metal. So now the two of you are outside, and it's just him and Loden inside the actual cage.
Yeah. It's like shooting fish in a barrel, guys.
We were trying that, but he still has Dex.
That will be your action.
He's
to
got the
sort
cover
of lock
of,
it in.
So
Yeah, that's cool.
for game mechanics, he's got the cover of being in combat with you.
Yep.
So there's no detriment to him dodging the bullets. Even though I mean the cage isn't confined enough to not dodge a bullet. It's you got enough room to move around.
Yeah.
So regular shots are regular shots, but the stakes are now called shots.
I'm more thinking about stopping him offing me and then immediately charging you guys without you guys having a chance to put him full of wood.
Because the other way to torpor someone is to fill them up on injuries. So this relies on Morgan now. Morgan, we'll start with the two of you since the two of you are in the cage.
Morgan immediately dies.
Come on, Morgan. You got this.
Comes after you.
Yeah.
And he is going to... Let's see. First, he's going to use one of his disciplines. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He's at Hunger 5. He cannot make rouse checks. Never mind, he can't access that. He's full on Hunger, which means you cannot rouse because he's already in 5. So, instead, Morgan, he's just going to come after you with his claws, dexterity and athletics to avoid. He cannot do anything that requires a rouse check.
Ooh.
But that is a messy critical.
Oh.
So,
I don't. Oh no.
He comes after you. He still has those same weapons. So when he comes, he strikes. All of his claws go into your body and lift you up and then throw you against the wall. That's a difference of 5. So I will adjust your health for you. That is 3 aggravated off the bat from that, and then an extra 2. So you are at a -2 now for physical tests.
Cool.
And 1 more aggravated damage and Morgan falls into torpor.
Cool.
But it's your turn, unless anyone else would like to shoot and distract him before because Morgan's sort of gathering himself. The rest of you do have an opening.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can't get in the cage, but you can start distracting him. Lower his defense.
I'll hold the same combo as earlier with awe and memory.
You want to... Ooh, okay. So, we'll start with your awe.
Yep.
Which he does have a way to defend against. You can just click the symbol next to awe.
Yep.
Make it easier. As a Ventru, he can defend against this. Where is it? Fortitude. So he blocks it off, the awe part of it. However, he does look at you still, not under the effect of awe, so you can't use it as a bonus. But he looks at you still out of possibly arrogance, the nerve of this fledgling to attempt that. So you have distracted him. You can still attempt your dominate, but it looks like he's very resistant. Although at this point, you have distracted him.
Yeah, that's all I care about, but we'll still send it.
Yeah. Alright. So while he's not under the effect of your awe, you are... The arrogance of this maneuver has caught his attention.
That's all that matters.
Do the other two like to do anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and reload and Shoot.
Go ahead.
Blood Search is active. Add a custom modifier.
You're still doing a cold shot?
Yeah,
Or just hurt him?
I want him
Cold shots would be
staked.
harder.
Actually, since the
Alright.
no, since the this is just going to be with the regular. Why is that not?
You could also just hurt him, because he is
Yeah.
severely injured long before this fight started.
We've already hit one leg, and I don't know if you're able to brace against the bars.
Drop the shotgun and pull out the 50 cal. Just do straight.
Yeah.
It's got +2 damage on it.
Yep.
So
If I take-
whatever you roll. Oh my god.
Ooh.
How about
Vivian with a
about
clutch
8
shot.
damage?
Okay.
how about eight
So-
damage?
That's 9 with the +2.
Well, yeah, but he had 1 success
Oh.
on the dodge, so it's 8.
So yeah. So oh, there's a lot of his health. Okay.
And we
so
got
first
a
of all, he's
+2 to the next roll as well.
You could take that if you want. He is full on his health track now and severely in aggravated territory. Just to point out there, he was already before you got here because of what's been happened to him.
Mm.
So, would Nora like to add anything before Morgan finally gets his counterattack?
Am I able to find Chelsea a safe place to be while I go back down, since the other kindred are running
Train-
around?
Well,
Yep.
the other candidate have run through the fire escape. But
Oh, so they're gone.
the safest place for it to be is, weirdly enough, behind the giant stone throne, or the giant wooden throne that's attached to the platform right now.
Okay, so Nora's gonna have her stay there and then go back down the ladder.
Okay. So what do you want to do? You see Drake catch his attention, and then you see Vivian just shoot a massive hole into his torso.
Nora's gonna cloak just in case.
Browse check. Okay. You're invisible. What do you do?
I'm gonna try to like sneak around.
He doesn't seem to notice you, by the way. Like, he doesn't seem to be able to see you. But he is in the
yeah, I
cage, so
wanna-
you can't really get to him.
Yeah, I want to get a little closer without getting shot by a 50 cal in accident.
Sure.
hmm So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna. I guess I'm gonna wait outside the cell as like a backup plan.
Okay. So you're invisible. Morgan, you have an opening. Your coterie has
Yeah.
shot him and distracted him.
Nora, have you got a stake? Did you pick up a stake upstairs?
I don't think I did. I just bit the hound.
Well, although Morgan does have stakes on him, so
Oh, I do? Okay.
Yeah,
In that
everybody
case,
yeah,
got-
like it's attached to you.
Everybody
Everyone's
has
got
these
one
things.
at least.
so I'm just. I imagine I'm absolutely covered in cell dust and
Yep.
gravel and all kinds of crap. I'm just gonna push myself up, try and pull a stake out, and sort of position it in between my feral claws, and I'm gonna go and try and stake this distracted, wounded monster of a man.
Take that +2. You need 5 successes.
Oh yes,
We'll
thank
call
you.
it a strengthened brawl because you still got your claws in doing a punch. I'll consider that a brawl. So, sorry, dexterity in brawl, and then
Cool.
take 2 modified dice. But the +2 from the claws won't apply because you're using the stake specifically.
Okay, but I can blood surge, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
He will, however, with a penalty from his injuries, try to defend. Oh, it didn't
Do
roll.
I add the +2 into the vampire dice pool?
For the custom modifier.
Oh, right, I see.
Then make
Thank
it
you.
2.
And can I willpower reroll that?
Yes, you can.
Nice.
So I rolled his. Wait, I'm trying to roll his. Let me just reduce it manually. I'll reduce his dice by 2 for the damage. That is 3 against your 9. 9!
Welcome to the raid. Thank you
So
for
yeah.
raiding, guys.
You have the stake. You lunge at him. He looks at you extremely injured with a hole in his knee and his torso. And as you lunge forward, you shove the stake far deep through his abdomen, through the bone protecting the heart, and you can feel it puncture an organ. Just and his body just drops. Not many people can claim that they've been able to stake the former Prince Loden. However, no one can claim that except you now.
Yeah, but I think I'm probably dropping as well to the floor after that last gas push, and the wounds I've taken. I'm probably out of juice and behind a locked door.
The Raiders are just in time to have witnessed you stake a vampire that has about 400 years over your age. You drop down from the exhaustion, your body not exactly tired, but your body is feeling the effects of the wounds. It's becoming harder to lift yourself up. But you did do it.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Now, this one you're supposed to keep alive. There is an alarm sounding now because 5 had just left and are now rampaging through the ivory tower.
All right, come on, you two.
So
Help
who
me
would
with
like
this.
to carry this body?
We gotta pry this cage back open.
Can Nora do anything about that?
Because he bent the bars. So this requires strength and athletics to unbend.
All of us together, please.
All 3 of you can roll. I'll need
pretend
collective
like
numbers
I'm
of success.
helping. I'll pretend like I'm helping.
Help your goddamn coterie, Viv.
Well, no, as in I have 2 dice.
Athletics and strength. I need a total number of successes.
Oh my
geez.
god. Oh my
You
god.
can't open it. So, alternative, the bone saw.
Drake has the bone saw.
Oh yeah.
Drake has the bone saw.
I'm in there. I'm in there.
This is gonna take forever.
We needed.
This is gonna take forever. But
Doesn't matter,
you
it's
know,
a
with a little
emblem.
bit of force and forcing it, just trying to saw it just enough. Can someone? To answer your question, why they have a bone saw? They always have a bone saw. They've had one since session 1. Dexterity and melee to whoever wants to try and cut steel with a bone saw.
Sure.
It's our lucky bone saw.
It hasn't failed you yet.
Oh my god.
It's failed you now.
All
The
right.
bone saw snapped. The teeth of the bone saw, after all these sessions, snaps against the steel. It becomes a flat bar now.
Oh.
Goodbye, bone saw. You were a trooper. What's next?
Oh god.
I'll fleetness if I have to make it as quick as possible. I'll go get our tools. I can just go grab our bag so we can rifle through it together.
There were diamond drill bits and glass cutters, but this is also steel. So
anything.
In general, someone do dexterity in melee with a +2 for the tools. So 2 modifier. And see if you can break open this bent tungsten bars.
Is this me again?
Because
or
some of
Nora,
these
Viv?
tools, anyone who's gonna do it, dexterity in melee.
That's the
You guys
same
wanna-
2 dice for me.
All right. I have no melee, but I have 3 decks, so I'll add the 2. I'll blood surge. Why not?
We did have a death tonight. The bone saw. It finally broke.
If we can't get him
Absent chat
out,
for our bone saw.
Aw,
we can fix
I'm
him.
gonna miss
We
it.
could get it. We could get it back.
It won't be the same.
It won't
bent
be the
in half.
same.
It's not the same
It's
saw
like the
anymore.
ship of Theseus.
A cart around a bone saw with different teeth on it.
Yeah.
It'll sound different.
It's the bone saw of Theseus at this point. Dexterity in melee. What you get? 2. Okay.
No, I'm gonna
That's
willpower just because I really want him to be out of there.
Oh, before you willpower.
Oh,
Oh, okay. You still have 2 extra dice. Like that's +2 for. Oh no, sorry, +2 successes for the weapons. So that's 4 on the willpower. So
Okay.
you can get the diamond drill bits and make holes in the bars enough that they become structurally weak, so that you can just snap off the rest of it. And finally, you can open the door, carry the body as the alarms are sounding in the back. I think I have alarm sound effects here. But there are alarms blaring in the background right now. Gunshots being heard as you guys need to make your leave. So, what's the escape plan? Because the fire escape sounds like it's ringing with gunshots right now.
Okay. Yeah, back down the central stairway that we came up, I guess.
Oh, that was the
Or-
fire escape.
that was the
Oh,
fire
okay.
escape.
Um,
Oh,
elevator.
Is it even safe to use the elevator if an alarm is going off?
Yeah, there's a camera
Well,
in
it's
there.
not
we
a
haven't
fire
dealt
alarm.
with.
Yeah, but at this point,
Laura can rip the camera out. I mean, the alarms are blaring. It doesn't matter. So,
I can do that.
I'll ask Nora for a rouse. Just to go invisible again.
Yep.
Well, you guys have left this relatively unscathed.
I'm looking at an
Sure.
almost dead Morgan. I'm
speak
not
for
sure.
yourself, man. Yeah,
Yeah, Morgan's not
I'm
doing
absolutely
so well.
mauled.
Can you move? Are you
Yeah,
good?
I have 1 leg left.
Yeah.
That's it. And my
Yeah,
smart mouth.
You rip it off. You go inside. Morgan is limping his way because most of his body's tent has been ripped open. He can't he can't move properly.
At least it was a funny story.
They'll
You went in
know.
there all arrogant, then you shut the door behind yourself so you couldn't get out, and then he beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, then he turned me inside out.
No one will hear about how
Story
Vivian
is
did
important.
9 damage in 1 hit.
With a 50 cal, you staked him. That's the important thing.
Yeah, right.
He's
That's
like,
the
you should
headline.
have seen
Oh.
the other guy.
So, the elevator is taken down. You open up the elevator, there's gunfire and various kindred hungry feeding frenzy on them. They all look at you, no longer on the verge of frenzy after having fed on several mortals. They don't attack. Out of a sense of a boon owed. You're the reason they're out, so they just leave. You can head back to the basement parking, where unfortunately the guard who helped you in here and several other guards are already dead.
Oops.
Anything nice in their
What are you
pockets?
gonna do?
Oh, I'll take the tailor's card back. That's evidence.
Good
You'll
plan.
have no use.
Sure.
You'll have no use for this anymore. I'll put it in my jacket pocket, which has now got a hole in the bottom of it, and it falls to the floor.
Make
Well, it falls into your shirt.
Sure.
make the phone call on the burner to let the contact know that we have the package. Things got a little bit messy, but we have the
An
package.
extraction is prepared for you. There's a vehicle waiting just outside of a blaring, alarmed building.
Got to be an Aston
I
Martin,
suggest
right?
you hurry.
Oh yeah, quickly.
One Aston Martin and then one SUV to hold the package. Sure. You can have an Aston Martin.
It's an Aston Martin SUV, custom made.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
custom Aston Martin SUV. Sure, why not? You're filthy rich. You can have that.
Well, I'll open the door and I'll say, "We're shaken, not staked. Get in."
Yep.
Unfortunately, Morgan is not in any condition to drive this beautiful piece of machinery,
He's bleeding all over it instead.
but Lucas can.
Yes. Home, James. Lucas.
So,
to the
you were
extraction
driven.
point.
And you are being driven all the way to the dock area in the north side. Meanwhile, in the distance, you can hear the sounds of the alarms blaring as the soon-to-be former prince and the court start arriving there, checking what happened to the ivory tower. Questions will be raised, but you are in the docks. There is a large yacht once more, the same yacht you saw before, where you were told to jump in. The car is going to be left behind, and the yacht sails away. As it does, you're once again in the presence of Portia, or as Loden called her, Helena. And Prince Loden. His staked corpse in front, in the table between you and her. And then Horatio Ballard comes in with a Cuban cigar once more.
We tried bringing him in quietly. He didn't want to come along. Said he would not
No,
be your pawn
no.
again.
His body is more than enough. You will learn to obey again. She just kind of runs her hands through his disfigured face. She takes a knife and forces her blood into him while he's staked. And then you see Horatio sit down in front of you. An excellent showing. I don't think that could have gone better. A disruption, a destruction, releasing those kindred. Magnificent. You will be rewarded, of course. In due time. I wager it will take maybe the rest of this month before things fall apart. I suggest you stay low for the next 3 days. Until a time when I collect you for your rewards. You will be taken care of. But I wonder, who did this? And he points to the stake. And that points to the hole in his body. Excellent. He blows smoke into his face, using the blush of life for the sole purpose of doing it. Horatio, darling, there's no need to be so crass. A defeated opponent is defeated. I have not met fledglings with such ambition and drive as you. We will see you in a few days. Until then, you are free to stay here. Food in abundance, catered to specific tastes of all kinds. Rooms private for all of you. It will be a tumultuous time in the city. You are free, of course, to return to your havens if you please. But I don't recommend it.
Neither do I, especially considering the prince granted these 3 their havens. And Chelsea has nowhere else to stay. Sorry, Chelsea, you're not going back to school. You're playing with the big dogs now.
Isn't our absence a bit more telling than our presence?
It will no longer matter.
He is correct. Stay in your rooms. They're private, they're yours. Food is prepared for all tastes. While I get to work. She steps out, and if you follow her footsteps, she gets on a lifeboat with a ghoul. Starts rowing them back to shore. An extensive task for the ghoul, but that's his job. While you all stay here, Morgan recovering slowly day by day. True to their promise, by the end of the month, Prince Jackson, for his crimes against the Camarilla, because of keeping Prince Loden, because of everything that he's done, and all of the things that have happened here, he has been put to death by the newly installed and chosen prince, Horatio Ballard. When you're all witnessing this in the ivory tower, there is a nasty smile on Ballard's face, with his crooked teeth showing as he enjoys watching Loden's head be taken off by his own sheriff, Damien. And then, Damien's head is taken off by a man Vivian has only heard of in stories. He dresses in a white button-up, or a cream top button-up, inside, tucked into his pants with some suspenders, very neatly tucked in hair and square framed glasses. The way he dresses and moves feels like a serial killer. Vivian, you've only heard of him in stories as Balthazar, Prince Loden's former sheriff. In proof, he was a serial killer back then. Now of a new life, he just stands there with this sort of thick mustache. And he looks and enjoys as he takes his position once more from Damien. Meanwhile, Horatio Ballard pronounces that Prince Loden is now well and truly has met his final death. 4 of you know that is severely not true. The former Prince Jackson has left the city with outsiders and crumbs here, which I shall not allow in my court. And I see it fit to grant the status of hound, one who has served my purposes valiantly despite their young age. And then he looks to Morgan. But of course, as I ascend to my role, one must take the position to lead over the Ventru in my stead. Vivian Devereaux, please take a seat. You shall be primogenitor of our clan, representing their best interests. Do you accept this responsibility?
Yes, of course, my prince.
Take your seat as you belong. The Elysium is concluded at those two. And the 2 of you are now, the 4 of you are now free of each other. Free to remain a coterie, but free of the responsibility tying each of your actions to each other. As Hound, Morgan is given an upgrade, a suite in the building, and whatever accoutrements and paraphernalia you request. You'll no longer have your own domain, but instead you will have a place where you can get whatever you want. Under the prince's orders, you will follow the sheriff, you will do what you need to do to take down whoever needs taking down. As Vivian, however, you are granted a new domain, and even granted the money and paperwork to solidify it as the head of the University of Chicago. Meanwhile, Drake, while it seems like you haven't truly been rewarded in any capacity, Helena does call to you and invite you onto the yacht. There are many things in the night, especially for our clan. What I offer you is a chance to explore that. I'll allow you to keep your mortal life for as long as it makes sense for your physical body. But you will remain here on some nights, as I wish to show you what it is you are truly capable of. What it is our blood allows. I would like to train you personally. It is my understanding your sire has met their final death, and none of your coterie understands what it means to be one of the roses. Do you accept?
I'd be honored to bloom underneath you, blood of my blood.
And the first thing you must learn is love is a powerful drug. And you see the former Prince Loden walking forward on both knees, kissing her feet. And a powerful weapon. As the scene kind of zooms out from you looking at the most powerful kindred in the city kneeling in front of this woman who's offered to train you. And it moves over to the one last person who hasn't really received much. Until one night, after the court, after everything, after splitting off and being given a new apartment. One night you see that man in your apartment. Wonderful showing. You now know him as the primogen of your clan, after all these meetings. He is Jason Newberry, or as most of the kindred refer to him, Son. He goes forward. I have long promised you a reward. Then he puts his index finger to your the base of your neck, rubs across the bottom of your jaw, and lifts your chin up with the tip of his finger. And so a reward I shall provide. He looks like he's leaning in for a kiss. And then his head turns to the side. And he bites you. He drinks from your blood. And the ecstasy of the kiss, the bite, goes through your blood and your body, and you can't help but feel that this is everything you have ever wanted. And the only thing that makes it sweeter is when he opens up his palm and lets you drink from it mutually. So he stands behind you, bites you in the neck, and opens his palm and lets you drink from him. An exchange of blood. And a bond, as he does this over the next 3 nights. Completely binding you to him. Eternally loyal to only him. Ensuring that your actions from here on out will be solely focused on pleasing him and no one else. Now that you have no coterie to tie you, the blood bond on the 3rd night is complete. And your entire world revolves around him, even more so than it did before. And as the future of Chicago gets shaped to another direction thanks to the 4 of you, there's just this scene zooming out of the blood bond, overlooking the 4 of you. You see the skyline of Chicago as is in our backgrounds here. And this chapter of the Chronicle comes to a close. Our kindred having received their rewards and surviving. For that is the end of this Chronicle. And whatever awaits our kindred, who's to say? But you have your gifts. And thank you so much to the players for taking part in this Chronicle. Thank you to everyone who's still here watching, waiting for how this ends. And thank you for everyone who's been a part of this since the beginning. Again, before we sign off, thank you so much for the support. Consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Join our Discord, links have been provided. And, subscribe. If you're not doing anything else, there are multiple games run by wonderful GMs and great people around here of all systems. Consider jumping in, joining, subscribing. But we'll see you again next time. Thank you for being a part of this.
And I have a couple of announcements myself.
Please, if you want to plug anything.
Really, really love Vampire. We're getting ready to raid over to St. Pete by Night, who is doing a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle based in St. Petersburg. Not the Russian one, the American one. And on my own channel, starting next Sunday, I'm going to be running session 0 of a brand new Chronicle. I believe that's going to be at 11:30. It might be at noon. We're still ironing out the fine details. And Thursday nights over on Fresh Out the Box, I'm running a mini Chronicle. No ties to this one, but similar length of time, a short Chronicle. The one on my channel is going to be longer. So you can look for us. You can look for me all over the place. Fresh Out the Box and on my own channel. Anybody else have
channel
shout-outs?
in the chat for anyone to go.
Yeah.
Anyone else wants to plug anything? But for the audience, please support all the other GMs, support Cybernation Uncensored, support Vampire Bites and his channel as well. And we'll see you again next time. Thank you for being a part of this. Bye.
Bye.
Cybernation Uncensored